we are actually having the 5th episode, which is very unique, where we are analyzing 6 of the most important philosophies. So, because this is very important, and the day after tomorrow is Guru Purnima too, it's going to really enrich us to understand more about our parampara also. So, these Advaita-Vada, Dvaita-Vada, Vishishtadvaita, Suddha-Advaita, and Svabhavika-Bheda-Abheda, and Acyintya-Bheda-Abheda Tattva. Okay, watch that, because first 5 are actually Vadas. Vadas mean hypothesis. They may or may not be right. It's like like theory. But whereas the Acyintya-Bheda-Abheda is the Tattva. Tattva means truth. Okay, this is very important. So at the end we will also see how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought all the Vaishnava Sampradayas under his umbrella. Okay, so being said, so even though we may have many philosophies, including those modern religions and everything, if we look at the Padma Purana, it says only 4 authorized Sampradayas. So Sampradaya means a religious sect following certain principles under Sanatana Dharma. So unless one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master in the disciplic section, the mantra he might have received will not have any effect. So that's why we really read that by saying, Sampradaya vihina ye mandraste nishphala mata ata kalau bhavishyandi chatvara sampradayinaha. So for the reason, 4 Vaishnava disciplic successions inaugurated by Lakshmi Devi, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the 4 Kumaras will appear in the holy place of Jagannath Puri and purify the entire earth during the age of Kali. So also it says, Sri Brahma Rutra Sanaka Vaishnava Kshiti Pavanaha Chatva Raste Kalau Bhavya Hiyut Kale Purushottama. Okay, so that's a sloka which is saying that it's all these 4 Sampradayas are the primary ones. And also it says Sri Lakshmi Devi made Sri Ramanujacharya the head of that lineage. Lord Brahma appointed Madhvacharya. Then Lord Rudra appointed Vishnu Swami, and the 4 Kumaras chose Nimbaditya, or also called Nimbarkacharya. So that's what it's saying. Ramanujam Sri Suichakre Madhva Charyam Chatur Mukha Sri Vishnu Swami Nam Rudra Nimbadityam Chadurshanaha. Chadurshana means 4 Kumaras. Anyway, so what is so significant to know is that all the acharyas of these 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas had been and visited Navadvipa. This is so unique. Madhvacharya had visited Navadvipa. Ramanujacharya had visited Navadvipa. Vishnu Swami had visited Navadvipa. Nimbarkacharya, also called Nimbaditya, also visited Navadvipa. Before we proceed, it is very helpful if we know a little analogy. So looking at this picture, we see 3 corners of a triangle. So we can have that one God, which is Krishna here, Jivas and Prakriti. So all the philosophies, mostly whatever we are going to cover, they are mostly cover this aspect. So now if we see that the realizations of these relations among these constitute the different philosophies. Okay, so you have God, then you have Jivas, and then Prakriti, which is material world, also called Maya. So God or Krishna is the root. His effulgence, Anga Kanti, is Brahman. And God has 2 kinds of energies, superior and inferior. Jivas are manifestation of God's superior energy. That's why we have consciousness and everything, all those. So we have all the qualities of Sri Krishna's true in minute quantities. But then Prakriti, or the material world, is the manifestation of his inferior energy, also called Maya. So this triangle also brings up the relations. So what are the relations? Because you can see the double arrows. God to Jivas and Jivas to God. How they are. Okay, master and servant. Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. Okay, so that's a relation back and forth, right? So now the second one is God to Prakriti and Prakriti to God. So from Krishna comes this creation, Prakritis. So this is the inferior energy that we talked about that. And he is the one who also arranges to get annihilated. So Krishna is controlling Prakriti. Krishna is controlling Maya. And not the other way. So Maya is completely under Krishna's control. Then third kind of relation is Jivas to Prakriti and Prakriti to Jivas. This here, what happens is Prakriti attracts Jiva. So Jivas are attracted by Prakriti and hence under the control of Prakriti. This is the problem. That's why we are all the Baddha Jivas are really stuck in the Maya. So we saw that there are only 4 authentic Sampradayas mentioned in the Padma Purana. However, we have 6 philosophies I listed. Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita, Suddha-Advaita, Svabhavika-Bheda-Abheda, Acyintya-Bheda-Abheda. Okay, so we will go one by one quickly. Now, first one is Advaita. So this has been propounded by Sripad Sankaracharya. Everyone must have heard about Advaita, the doctrine of Sripad Sankaracharya. But this is not in the 4 Sampradaya mentioned in the Padma Purana. So you would have noticed that. So this is actually then an Apasampradaya or outside the list of valid 4 Sampradayas. So if you see the Advaita Vada, as per that, the world is illusion. So it says it is not there at all. It is only you think that it exists. And second, Jivatma and Paramatma are one and the same. Who is Jivatma? That is us. Paramatma is Lord manifestation. So this says there is no difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. And mostly they have taken about 7 Mahavakyas. Of that 5 are actually very, very famous. One of them is Aham Brahmasmi. So this Aham Brahmasmi means I am that Brahman. Then according to them, Brahman is the topmost. There is nothing superior than Brahman. So Bhagavan and avatars all also come from Brahman only due to the influence of Maya. So this is the problem. But according to them, Maya is the one causing Bhagavan and avatars to come. Actually, all the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas proved that this philosophy is actually an illusion. So they are saying the world is illusion. So now everybody is saying, all the acharyas proved that this is wrong. So this philosophy is actually illusion. So anyone who comes under Advaita is not going to reach Krishna. Instead, they will be merged, where they will be merging only in Brahman. So the truth is that Brahman is just the effulgence of Lord Krishna. That's why we see Brahma Anga Kanti Tandra Nirvishesha Prakashe. So in fact, merging into Brahman is like killing one's own Atma. So it is called spiritual suicide. But what we see in this world, in the name of Sadgurus or art of living and so many different shapes, people are so many so-called gurus, they are all propagating this same Advaita philosophy, Mayavada. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada said that Advaita is not even half of the truth. As we see, every Acharya who came after Sankaracharya refuted Advaita. So if you see the Advaita, they take the Mahavakyas, they are really chosen from Vedic scriptures. But actually the context is really completely, it's actually, that's what the problem is. So Sankaracharya chose to misinterpret. So Brahmam Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman is real, the world is unreal. Ekam Evat Vitiyam Brahmam. So that means Brahman is one without a second. Eva. Then Prinyanam Brahman. Brahman is the supreme knowledge. Tattvamasi, this is a very famous one. That is what you are. So what is the context? We don't know. So it may mean that you are spiritual. So doesn't say that it is actually you are Brahman. But the thing is, he has twisted in so many ways to really prove, to really do the preaching as he came for. We'll see what was the actual reason behind his teaching. Then I am Atma Brahma. Atma and Brahman are the same. Aham Brahmasmi. This is another famous one. I am Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All of this is Brahman. So if we see this philosophy, as it is also very popular, the realization here is Brahman. Just the effulgence of Krishna. According to Advaita, there is nothing beyond Brahman. It is equivalent to saying that there is nothing beyond sunlight. But the reality is that they forgot the very source of sunlight is sun. According to this incomplete realization, they say that Bhagavan, who is the very source of Brahman, like the sun, comes from, so they say Bhagavan is coming from Brahman. So it is in a way saying that, sun, actually sun is coming from sunlight. So this is not correct at all. So actually there is a great hidden trick as why the Advaita had to be brought out. Nothing can exist without the will of God, the will of the Lord. It is Lord Krishna's plan to drive away asuric minded jivas. Krishna commanded Sadashiva to preach Advaita, which is the Mayavadism, so that all those who want to be away from Krishna Bhakti are driven out, naturally driven out. So if you have seen even look at heaven. In heaven we have Devas, who are called Suras, and Asuras, demons. Devas worship Vishnu and Asuras worship Lord Shiva. Why? Because asuric-minded people will be attracted to Lord Shiva first. Of course, they can really gradually elevate. That's different. But their interest is not in divine love for Krishna. So when one teaches them that, you are God, or there is no God, they are satisfied. Because this is very easy to grasp for them. So this is not the divine or intrinsic quality of a jiva. True divine quality of a jiva is to serve Krishna with love and affection. That is why we see Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. So those who do not want to accept this are taken away from Krishna by this tricky Advaita. So Lord Krishna and Sadashiva are extremely close. Sadashiva is the first Vaishnava, always meditating on Lord Krishna and his expansions. Basically, especially Mahasankarshan, who is the source of Shankar. So his meditation is to, so deep that when even an Asura asks for a boon, without thinking the complications or any problem there, he immediately gives it. Why? Because first of all, he does not have time to really think about these all kinds of things, because he really wants to continue his meditation. That's what he wants to do. So he just, take it. Number two, if there is any problem, Lord Krishna is there to protect him. He gives boons to all kinds of asuras and everything, and then finally they really come back to him himself saying, all right, now I need to test whatever the boon that you are given. I want to touch your head to see whether your head is blown or not. So he did not think about it, that it may really come to him, but he always knows that Krishna will take care of that. So anyway, we know the story. So Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, who is Sadashiva, is also saying something here. He says that he will come down to teach Mayavadam Asat Sastram. Asat means is what? It's not proper Sastram. Asat. Mayavadam Asat Sastram Prachannam Bauddham Uchyate Mayaiva Vihitam Devi Kalau Brahmana Murtina. So the Padma Purana is saying that Lord Shiva is informing goddess Durga, the superintendent of the material world, in the age of Kali, I will take the form of a Brahmana and explain the Vedas through false scriptures in an atheistic way, similar to Buddhist philosophy. So there is a deep secret here now. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to South India, Sadashiva and Parvati Devi appeared as Brahmana and Brahmani. And Lord Caitanya spent several days discussing about some secret philosophies or whatever. They had some good time. So Mahaprabhu also said that anyone who reads Sankaracharya's Viveka Sudamani or Sariraka Bhasya, their devotion to Bhagavan Krishna will be doomed. It is like the plant, killing the spray, plant killer spray we use. Kill, finished. But who will read Viveka Sudamani or this Sariraka Bhasya? Only those who are asuric and thus attracted by Advaita, that is Mayavadism. So we have to be very careful if we want pure bhakti. At one point, at his old age, Sripad Sankaracharya, who is Lord Sadashiva, wanted to reveal the truth because he could not withhold his truth. When he was really on the deathbed, it seems, and he started composing Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamade. Oh, fools! He said, fools. You are actually trying to read all the jnana, these, everything, reading these, all kinds of gimmicks you are trying to do. Do Bhaja Govindam, worship Krishna. Do bhajana to Lord Krishna. But then these followers thought, oh, he was teaching something else, but now he is teaching totally different. So they, they thought, oh, maybe Sripad Sankaracharya became mad. But anyway, now Sankaracharya visited Navadvipa too, but expelled by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So although Acharya Sankara in his heart was the best of all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Yada Sambhuhu, on the order of Sri Bhagavan, Sri Sankaracharya was desperately preaching this hidden Buddhism, as I mentioned. So now, although he was a partial incarnation of Rudra, which is Shiva, and was greatly talented, still Sankaracharya skillfully preached a hidden form of Buddhism. So, Nije Rudra Amsa Sada Bratape Prachura Prachanna Bauddhera Mata Pracharete Sura. So now again, he came to Navadvip. There Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared in his dream and he gently spoke to him. This Sri Navadvipa Dham is most dear to me, and therefore Mayavada, which is a false philosophy, cannot be preached here. Yei Navadvipa Dhama Mama Priya Ati. Heta Mayavada Kabu Na Paiba Gati. So since this place is generally for my devotees, it is not proper to spread Mayavada and other such corrupt, dushta philosophies here. Look at here. Ye sthane sadharane mama bhakta haya dushta mata prachare sana iha maya. So therefore, you should go somewhere else. Do not cause any pain to the residents of Navadvipa, who are all my devotees. Atayeva tumi kare anyatra gamana. Anyatra means somewhere else you go. Gamana. Navadvipa vasi gane na kare pidana. Don't disturb my devotees here in Navadvip. So Sankaracharya immediately packed everything and left Navadvip. So Advaita or Mayavada has no place in Krishna Bhakti. We have to be very careful about this. In South India especially, this is 90% there. Second, Sri Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya, their philosophy is Vishishtadvaita and propounded by Sripad Ramanujacharya. So this is actually a modified Advaita Vada only. Advaita means monism, but with a small twist. They say that this entire material world is the gross body of the Brahman and that the living entities are its subtle body. This is Vishishtadvaita. Vishishtadvaita. Advaita, Vishishta, I mean there is a twist there. This is the Vishesham. That's it. So the Jiva and the material cosmos are specialities of Brahman. Okay, still they are holding on Brahman a lot. Although all the energies of the Lord are one, each keeps its individual. So the thing is, when it comes to Jivas, they see differences now. So the refutation of Advaita of Sankaracharya is also there. So here he refuted. But then also he added some more. Service to the Lord in deity form. So that is one. Then also exclusive devotion, that is Ananya Bhakti, and service to the Vaishnavas. So these are some of the unique aspects of the Sri Sampradaya. But unfortunately, Sri Sampradaya is not one. It has two sects, Vadakalai and Tenkalai. Vada means north side, and Ten means south. Okay, so there are two sects, Vadakalai, Tenkalai. One is the north and the other one is the south. You see in the picture. These two sects now actually they are really almost like enemies. One sect will not honor the other one and vice versa. So the U sign at the left is used as the mark by Vadakalai. The Y, okay, so U and Y, okay, these are the easy to really to remember. So the Y sign at the right is used as a mark by Tenkalai. So the Vadakalai accepts Sanskrit as the divine language. But the Tenkalai accept only Tamil as the divine language, and they have put together all the Alvar's compositions into a big book called Nalayira Divya Prabandham. Nalayira means 4,000 verses are there. I have a copy too. So this Sri Parampara is well known for its following the rules and regulations very strictly. And the classic Parampara teaching Dasya Bhava. So for Dasya Bhava, because Krishna is above, he is mainly for Madhurya Bhava. So they have to always fix something to worship, who is Lord Narayana or Vishnu. So that is how they really position them. So as we know. And also Sri Parampara, both the sects, they have a different way of surrendering to God. There are different philosophies. So this is both the sects rely on Prapati. Prapati means surrender to God. But there are two different ideals. One is the Vadakalai corresponds to free will. What is that? It's called actually, they hold the theory that is, only by Jiva's own will, we can actually approach Krishna. This is called Markata Nyaya. Markata Nyaya means this is like a monkey. So like a monkey, an infant monkey has to cling on to the mother. The jiva has to really do that. You have to do sadhana. You have to have affinity towards the Lord, and that is important. Okay, so this is called Marakata Nyaya. But the Tenkalais holds the cat hole theory. So this cat hole theory is called Marjara Nyaya. So this Marjara Nyaya is basically what this one is cat hole theory is. The soul remains passive and helpless until acted on by God. Just as the kitten remains passive and helpless until seized. Remember, because see, the mother cat used to really take all the kittens to different places, right? So 7 places or something that we are saying. But the kitten does not really do anything. It just waits, that's it. So no chanting or no special endeavor is required by the Tenkalais. This is the cat hold theory. However, what is the right surrender? Right Saranagati. Right Saranagati is to do both. Our endeavor is also the first we have to start. So unless we make our first step to get to God, God will not interfere us. So because we have the freedom. So we have to do sadhana under an authorized sampradaya. But at the same time, we should also have faith that the Lord will react to our sadhana and bestow mercy to deliver us. So basically that is the right way to do. But Ramanujacharya came to Jagannath Puri and he saw that the worship was not up to the standard. So he was complaining that to the king because he was very influential. There came with thousands of disciples. And he immediately told the king, no, this is not good. This is very bad. And this need to be changed. There is no proper pronunciation and they are not doing it on time. And this is not good. This is very bad. So then he said, we want to take over this one. So Krishna, then the king could not really do anything. So he had to give. So they all really came, and then they said, well, all right, we are really going to have our own puja, etc. And King already announced that from next day onwards, yes, all the pujaris who are actually doing right now in Jagannath Puri, they are get out, all basically fired, and they were supposed to come. And then whatever that happened, next day, nobody showed up. This Ramanujacharya also did not show up, and also the disciples, they have completely gone. We have no idea where they went. They were trying to trace, and then finally later they came to know all the disciples of Ramanujacharya had already gone to Kurma Kshetra, magically, overnight or something. Okay, so they all got up and then they were in the Kurma Kshetra, Kurma Sthana or Kurma Kshetra. So this is also mentioned by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, and actually this particular YouTube was refuted by Sri Paramparaj a lot. Then I was trying to get into some of the scriptures, but I found out a lot of things. It's called, there is a Prapannamrita by Ananda Acharya, a Sanskrit version. The same incident is actually recorded there. It actually happened. And also another book called the Jagannath Temple at Puri. It's Architecture, Art and Cult. This is by O.M. Starza. Same incident is again mentioned in this also. So anyway, so I don't want to really go more in the details. But that time, there is something about the vanishing of, see, the thing is, so Ramanujacharya vanishes and also the disciples also vanish. Now there is a unique thing mentioned in by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura's Navadvipa Dham Mahimamrita. That's what I'm going to talk about here. Now it makes sense. So we have many records about the visit of Sri Ramanujacharya to Jagannath Puri temple. So we also see a very interesting record in the Sri Navadvipa Dham Mahimamrita that just I mentioned. It mentions that Sri Ramanujacharya obtained darshana of Bhagavan Sri Jagannath. And Bhagavan ordered, because when he was really trying to change all this worship, I think probably that's what the thing actually coming here. He darshan. So he gave a darshan. And there Bhagavan apparently told, this is exactly there in the written, Sakshate Asiya Prabhu Palya Vachana Navadvipa Dham Tumi Karaha Darshana. So, Lord Jagannath actually told Sripad Ramanujacharya, O Ramanuja, go and take darshan of Sri Navadvipa Dham, Navadvipa of Gauranga. So then Lord Jagannath also told, I will appear very soon in Jagannath Mishra's house in the town of Nadia. Ati Alpadine means very soon. Alpadine means very soon. Alpa means very small fraction. Dine means time. Ati Alpadine Ami Nadia Nagare Prakata Haiba Jagannath Mishra Gare. Gare means house. In the house of Jagannath Mishra I will be born, because the Ramanujacharya was before the manifested pastime of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But he is saying that I will come there. So after taking darshana of Sri Navadvip, you should go to Kurma Kshetra. See, he is coming again. So there you will again meet your disciples. See how nicely all the histories, everything lining up. So whatever that the disciples of Ramanujacharya is really shouting, saying, no, it's not true, is they all coming into picture now. Actually they are true. So there you will meet your disciples again. Navadvipa Deki Tumi Javo Kurmasthana. Kurmasthana means Kurma Kshetra. Sthana means place. Kurma Kshetra. Sishya Gana. Your Sishya will be Sane Tada Haiba Milana. You will see your disciples there. And all your disciples are, why? He said that. All of your disciples are immersed in Dasya Rasa, the mellow of Dasya Bhava, servitude. You should therefore leave them here. Where? There. And you should go alone. You should go to Navadvipa alone. Do not take any of your disciples with you. Tava Shishya Gana Dasya Rasete Magana Etaya Takuka Tumi Karaha Gamana. You go alone. So, Sripad Ramanujacharya was enlightened and offered his prayer. Oh Lord, by your merciful words, for the first time I heard about Sri Gauranga. But I do not know anything about the Tattva of Gaurahari. Tomara Kripaya Prabhu Gaura Kada Suni. Kona Tattva Gaura Chandra Taha Nahi Jani. I don't know. Lord Jagannath then spoke to Sri Ramanujacharya. Let me explain. Everyone knows that Sri Krishna is the Lord of Goloka. That Lord Sriman Narayana is his Vilasamurti. That Sri Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. And there he lives in Sridham Brindavana. Ramanuje Kripakari Jagabandhu Bale Golokera Nata Krishna Jane Janene Sakale Janhara Vilasamurti Prabhu Narayana. He is a Vilasamurti. Say Krishna Paratatva Dhama Brindavana. But whereas the souls of him, who is Krishna, is in Brindavan, Goloka Brindavan. So Sri Ramanujacharya was overwhelmed by the divine secrets. And he expressed his interest to reveal Lord Gauranga from scripture. He said, I am going to tell all the world that about Lord Gauranga. Then Jagannath said, no, stop that. Don't do that. Okay, he said, no. Your mission is only to propagate Dasya Bhava. To me, Dasya Rasa more Karaha Prachara. That's the only thing that you have to do. Nije Chitte Gaura Bhaja Anibara. But at the same time, you keep Gauranga in your heart. Don't reveal to anyone. So you preach only about Dasya Rasa to me. But constantly worship Sri Gaurahari in your heart. So Ramanujacharya left all his disciples alone and reached Navadvipa. It is said that Sri Ramanujacharya could go anywhere with the help of Garuda. So many incidents are there. He doesn't need to walk and go. No, this is his unique power. So it's not mentioned as how he went. Anyway, he reached Navadvipa. When Vishwaksena came to know of the arrival of Sripad Ramanujacharya, he took him to the Vaikuntha-pura. There is a place even now if you go, it's called Vaikuntha-puri. Vaikuntha-puri only. So Sri Ramanuja first obtained the Darshan of Lord Narayana only in the Vaikuntha-pura. Sri Bhu Leela Nishevita Paravyamopati Teka Jila Ramanuje Kripa Kari. So Lord Narayana gave. From Vaikuntha he gave the Darshan first. Then after just a moment, Sri Ramanuja saw the beautiful, most effulgent form of Sri Gaurahari in the place of Sri Narayana. So Sri Ramanuja began to pray. Oh Lord, so he was really, it was so good. He said, after seeing you, I do not want to return back. I want to be in your manifest pastimes. I want to serve you. I don't want anything else. And I want to be staying in this town of Nadia. But Lord Gauranga, of course, due to his request, he said, all right. He said, I will include you also in one of my Leela. So, Je Kale Nadiya Leela Prakate Haibe Takana Dvitiya Janma Navadvipe Pabe. So he said, yes, I will include you. Yes, I won't forget because of your interest. So he also told, when my pastimes become manifest later in Nadia, you will also take birth there. Okay? And having said this, Sri Gaurahari disappeared. So Ramanuja was so blissful, so satisfied, and resumed back to his journey, back to where? To the Kurma Kshetra, where exactly now the record is matching. So, Yei Bali Gaurahari Haile Andara Dhyana Sushta Haye Ramanuja Karilo Prayana. So after a short time, he arrived Kurma Kshetra, and all his disciples were already magically there, thrown out from Jagannath Puri. So Katadine Kurmastane Haila Upashita Tada Deka Haila Shishya Ganera Sahita. What does that mean? This is saying after some time he really, returned back to this Kurmastane, Kurma Kshetra. So anyway, as Lord Gauranga and Lord Narayana, see the thing is both, they really gave the mercy. And Ramanujacharya began preaching only Dasya Rasa throughout South India especially. Internally, however, he was absorbed in the thoughts of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu of Sri Navadvipa. Dakshinatye Dasya Rasa Vyakta Kare Navadvipa Sri Gauranga Babi Antare. So inside, he was always thinking about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but externally, he was giving only Dasya Rasa. Okay. So anyway, by the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, this Sri Ramanujacharya later appeared as Sri Ananda. So Gaurangere Kripa Vase Yei Nitya Dame Janamila Ramanuja Sri Ananda Name. In the name of Sri Ananda, this Ramanujacharya took place. Okay, and what was his Leela? Only very little actually. Because remember, during the Gaura Narayana Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he married Lakshmi Priya. So that time, the marriage was arranged and also conducted by this Sri Ananda, who is none other than Sri Ramanujacharya. Vallabha Acharya Grihe Kariyo Gamanat Lakshmi Gaurangera Vibhakare Darshana. He was the one who conducted the marriage also for Lakshmi Priya, and that is it. After that, no more record. Now, 3. Madhva Sampradaya. Madhva Sampradaya came to preach Dvaita. Dvaita means two. Jiva and God, they are different. Okay? He refuted the Advaita philosophy like left and right. Left and right. And not only that, he also disproved the Vishishtadvaita of Ramanuja also. He said, no, Mayavada is also wrong, and whatever Ramanujacharya is also preached, that's also wrong. So, the wrong means mostly the fundamental principles. So, Madhvacharya is the Amsa of Bhima and Hanuman, as you all know. So, these Dvaitavada says, they refute the Advaita of Sankaracharya. This is Kevala Advaita. So, that is the gone case. Then, world is real but temporary. It's not illusion. Worlds are created and destroyed. Bhagavan and Jivatma are different. Jivas emanate from Bhagavan and is always dependent on Lord. Lord Krishna is the supreme, and service to Krishna's deity forms is the way to worship. And he also explained the relation among Prakriti, Jiva and Bhagavan. Exile the triangle that I really put that in the front. Not only that, Sripad Madhvacharya is so powerful. By that time there were so many unauthorized commentaries. Not only Sankaracharya, Advaita starting, Ramanujacharya, then also Bharati Vidya, Samvidananda, Brahma whole question. Like that, there were so many Abhasittandas. All the things were refuted, and he was traveling so many places. And when, for example, this is Rameshwaram. So in Rameshwaram, he was having a big argument with his Mayavadis, with the Sankaracharya's philosophy. And I really heard that even Sankaracharya also manifested. He came in the human form to hear from Madhvacharya. So that is also written there. But anyway, we don't want to really go in that much detail because the time is running. But anyway, Sri Madhvacharya also came to Navadvipa. That place is called Mahatpura. So it is there. So he stayed in this place for quite a long time. When, with some of his disciples. Yei sthane matva muni sisya gana laye rahilena katadina dama vasi haye. What he's saying is, he really came and then stayed along with his disciples. And here, this place, Srila Madhvacharya received a Darshana of Sriman Mahaprabhu in a dream. Darshana in a dream. And Madhvera, Kariya, Kripa, Gauranga, Sundara, Swapne means dream. Swapne, Dekaila, Rupa, Adi, Manohara, smiling. Sri Gauranga Chandra, Gauranga Mahaprabhu told Sri Madhvacharya, everyone knows that you are my eternal servant. Navadvipe jabe ami prakata haiba tava sampradaya ami swikara karibe. When I appear in Navadvip, I will accept your sampradaya. Look at tava sampradaya ami swikara karibe. I will take your sampradaya. Shelter in that one. Why? Why not fifth one? Because Padma Purana says only 4, and this is the one he really wanted to choose. Why? Because as per this sampradaya, Krishna is the supreme. All the other sampradayas, Narayana, etc., like that goes. This is very important. So, Now we know that why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose Brahma Sampradaya. So we, he accepted the Ishwara Puri as Diksha Guru, and we are called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Now the fourth one is Rutra Sampradaya. The philosophy here is Suddha-Advaita. And the Acharya is Vishnu Swami. But Vishnu Swami was the one who really came first. So Rutra Sampradaya is the philosophy Suddha-Advaita. Originated actually from Lord Shiva, in fact. So the philosophy is, what is this? Only Suddha-Advaita means only Bhagavan is real. And everything, and the cause of all causes, everything, only Bhagavan is real. Everything is from him. Bhagavan can perform leelas as per his sweet will. As he created the worlds, they are all real. It may be temporary, but that is his wish. Jivas are the creation from Bhagavan. And the sentiment that Bhagavan Sri Krishna alone is everything, that is Tvadiye Sarvasva Bhava. So this is very important. That sentiment towards Lord Krishna is very sacred. And the sixth one is the Raga Marga. So Raga Marga, this is path of Raga Marga. Path of spontaneous devotion is actually coming from the Rutra Sampradaya also. So notably, Sridhar Goswami, who wrote the commentary for Srimad Bhagavatam, in fact belongs to this Sampradaya. Very, very high. And also once, Sri Vishnu Swami also came here, came to Navadvipa with his disciples. Well, he was on tour, defeating, opposing philosophies, etc. He spent a night here in Rudradvipa. Rudradvipa is basically where the Rudra is, right? So he is in that parampara. So he says, Kadachit Vishnu Swami Asi Dikvijaye. He was doing Dikvijaya, winning, trying to win everybody in arguments. Rudradvipe Rahe Ratre Sishya Gana Daye. See, he came and then stayed here for one night. While here, all of the disciples began to dance and chant Hari, Hari, Hari. And Sri Vishnu Swami himself began to recite prayers from Hari, Hari, Bali, Nritya Kare, Sishya Gand, Vishnu Swami, Sruti, Stuti, Karena Patena. So, pleased with all this deliberation of bhakti, Srila Neela Lohita Rudra came. So here he came, Lord Sadashiva came and then appeared there and blessed Vishnu Swami. See, look at here. The same Sadashiva also appeared to give Advaita for these asuric people, and at the same time he is here giving blessing for Raga Bhakti. So you look at the difference. This is very important to note, by the way. This is all arrangement by Krishna only. Anyway, so lived at the same time when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived, this Vallabhacharya was also there. The Vallabhacharya apparently did not accept Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the supreme. I don't know what happened. There must be something, some inclination. So he came to see Rupa Goswami also. And due to the way Vallabhacharya debated with Rupa Goswami, so Jiva Goswami refuted his arguments. But anyway, Rupa Goswami did not like it. There is a lot of things are going on. But anyway, important thing is about the Vallabhacharya is he propounded Pushti Marga, worshipping Krishna as a child. So many Gujaratis, if you see that, if you see in the train, they will bring big trunk box. In the trunk box, they will have all the prasadam, everything, so many things will be there. And also there will be Laddu Gopal. So every time when they eat, they take Laddu Gopal, offer to Laddu Gopal and then eat. So Pushti means feeding. You are actually feeding. Pushti means actually becoming, feed and then grow. That's what it means. So they feed so many times. So Vallabhacharya was the one who composed Adaram Maduram Badanam Maduram. Remember that was composed by Vallabhacharya. And notable disciple of Vallabhacharya is Surdas. The Surdas was very, very famous. But anyway, now Kumara Sampradaya, fifth one, is Svabhavika-Bheda-Abheda. This is actually from Nimbaditya. Nimbaditya actually is coming from Kumara Sampradaya, and this actually, there are 6 rules again. God has form and also exists without form. So form and formless. Okay, that's what Svabhavika-Bheda-Abheda. 2 kinds of jivas, Baddha jivas and Mukta jivas. Baddha jivas can become mukta jiva by bhakti sadhana with surrender to a guru. And sadhana, the fourth one, sadhana goes in stages. Karma, first everybody is inclined to do karma. Karma, then jnana, then dhyana, and then guru bhakti. Guru bhakti is here very important actually. As per this sampradaya, guru bhakti is very extremely important. Without that, no way of getting the Krishna. So then the fifth one is exclusive shelter at the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Ekanda Radhika Sraya. This is something very unique. This is the Kumara Sampradaya. And the sixth one is sentiment of the gopis. Actually, this is high. This is actually very high. Not in the Dasya Bhava. Anyway, in the Navadvip, in a village called Bilba Baksha, it's called Bilbavana. In Brindavan, there is a vana called Bilbavana. It's the same thing. All the vanas, all the 12 vanas are mapping to the 9 islands of the Navadvip. So I really talked about that before in a class. So here, some brahmanas actually, came and then, they worshipped Lord Shiva, offering him and then some bilva leaves there, lot of bilva leaves, that's why it was called Bilbavana, and becoming satisfied. Lord Shiva bestowed upon these brahmanas the supreme science of Krishna consciousness. So Sri Nimbaditya was one of the brahmanas who was very attentive to his worship. So Lord Shiva revealed that you should see 4 Kumaras. So he was the one who actually asked, saying, you have to really go and then take shelter at these 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana and Sanat. So these, they were actually sitting in a meditation in the nearby place, in the forest. So the Lord Shiva told these Nimbaditya to go there and then take shelter. As instructed, Nimbaditya went there and then of course he was really, there, and then they really recognized. And Sri Nimbaditya surrendered himself under the lotus feet of the Kumaras who were meditating in that forest, unseen by others. This is important. Nobody else could really see. Because of the mercy of Lord Shiva, they could see. So the 4 Kumaras happily accepted Nimbaditya as their disciple and instructed him from their book, Sanat Kumara Samhita. Okay, there is available. So that's what they were actually preaching. So this contains instruction from Lord Krishna when he appeared as a swan. In Navadvipa, we have a place called Hamsa Vahana. Hamsa means swan. Nimbarka Parichaya Kariya Sravana Sri Sanat Kumara Kaya Sahasya Vandana Kalikora Kaibe Janiye Kripamaya Bhakti Pracharite Chitte Karila Nichaya. So after learning this Sanat Kumar Samhita, so he was so Nimbarka was so happy, and then also he said that all the 4 Kumaras blessed him, saying that, see, Ramanuja, Madhva, Vishnu Yei Tinajana, Tumita Chaturtha Havo Bhakta Mahajana. Sri Ramanuja, Sri Madhvacharya, Sri Vishnu Swami, they are all 3 great personalities, and you, oh best of devotees, are the 4th. That is why we have the 4 Sampradayas, as in the Padma Purana. Anyway, we are going to finish it soon. Now, Gauranga took 2 instructions from each of 4 Sampradayas. Remember, I mentioned 5. I took 6. I mentioned 6. 1 is ruled out. Advaita is out. But remaining 5. But 4 we talked about that. Now I am talking about the last one, which is basically what that one? The one that Caitanya Mahaprabhu actually came to give. But how did he do that? Also, he took 2 instructions from every Sampradaya. So, two, totally 8 of them. What are they? He took from Madhva Sampradaya 2. Madhva Hate Sarad Dvaya Karibagarhana Ekahaya Kevala Advaita Nirshana Krishna Murti Nityajani Tanhara Sevana Sehita Dvitya Sarajana Mahajana. So he took 2. Number 1, you refuted Advaita of Sankaracharya. Kevala Advaita. You threw that out. Very good. I am taking that one first. See, that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. The reason he came here was actually to inaugurate the Kali Yuga Dharma and also throw out this Advaitam out. Because he wanted to give bhakti. Wherever that Advaita Vada is there is no Krishna bhakti is available. It's not possible. These are all asuras. Anyway, number 2, what is the second one? Service to Krishna. Sri Krishna is the supreme for you, and you are actually taking Sri Krishna deity as Bhagavan himself. So refutation of Advaita and Sri Krishna is the main supreme. These two I am taking from you. And also not only that, he also said, as we covered, he took the under this Madhvacharya Sampradaya. That is why we are called like this, Sri Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. Anyway, so now the two essential elements from the Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya, you took 2 of them. Ramanuja haite amilai duisara ananya bhakkati bhakta jana seva ara. 2. Exclusive devotion, ananya bhakti. That's the thing. This ananya bhakti is very important because they are very sincere. That is it. They don't have anything else. That's it. Very solid. Ananya bhakti, exclusive devotion. Whatever you do, you exclusive devotion. Then 2, service to the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava seva. So these 2, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took. Then what about the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya? Two things again. Vishnu haite duisara kariba svikara dodiya sarvasya bhava ragamarga ara. See, this is very unique. 2, first one, sentiment that Bhagavan Sri Krishna alone is everything. Tvadiya sarvasya bhava. Then second, path of spontaneous devotion, raga marga. Not dasya bhava or something. This is raga marga. Raga marga. Not the Vaiti bhakti, but raga bhakti. These are the 2 things that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took from Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And then what about from Nimbaditya Sampradaya? Tomaha itte labami dui mahachara ekanda radhika shraya gopi babhara. You got it. I already mentioned that before also. So from your Sampradaya, the line of Sri Nimbaditya, I will accept 2 essentials. 1, exclusively take shelter of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, ekanda radhika shraya. Second, sentiment of the gopis. Right? And now that is what is Gaudiya Sampradaya is. The core is Acyintya Bheda-Abheda. That is from by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in addition to the above that I really just took, I want to complete few more things also. According to this, the world is real, but temporary. We all know that. All the creation comes and goes. And as the Mahavishnu is breathing out, comes and then breathing in, goes back again. And Bhagavan Krishna is the supreme. Brahman or Brahma Jyoti is just an effulgence from the spiritual body of Krishna. See? Krishna Anga Gandhi. Then the fourth, the relation among Bhagavan, Jivas and Prakriti clearly identified now. Because that is even Madhvacharyas also, they are actually very clear coming. I really put that as a triangle for just as an analogy. Then Jivas are the minute fragments from Krishna only. The eternal nature of every Jiva is to be a servant of Krishna. Jiva Swarupahaya, Krishna Nitya Dasa. And by quality, Jivas and Bhagavan are same quality. But in quantity, Jivas are very tiny and Bhagavan is infinity, like the sun. And Jivas are like the sunlight. But the Jivas caught under Maya can get liberation, but only by Bhakti Yoga. And pure Bhakti can take a Jiva to even up to Goloka. And, of course, other things are very easy, but the Goloka is the topmost. Advaita Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, these are all vadas, hypotheses that not necessarily real. But Acyintya Bheda-Abheda Tattva. Abheda is the Tattva. It's not Vada, the truth. That is from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya told that the philosophy by Sankaracharya has no truth at all. Lord Shiva was instructed by Lord Krishna to come down as Sankaracharya to teach this Asat Sastra Mayavada, to divert the non-devotees away from Lord Krishna, so that they do not come to Krishna and disturb the devotees. And also it is actually a shame that even though Advaita of Sripad Adi Sankaracharya has been completely refuted and proved to be wrong by every single Acharya who came after, The Mayavada is creeping all over the world. Especially South India is 99% is this Mayavada. We are trying to take some devotees out of it. It's like pulling the teeth out. Even pulling the teeth out is easy. Very difficult. These people do not understand all this about the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and about this wonderful, this philosophy of Acyintya Bheda-Abheda Tattva. So anyway, so what this means is that all the people, non-devotees, will be aligning to the Mayavada, and because Lord Krishna wanted them to be away. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially condemned Mayavada. So the summary of the class is, all Vaishnava Sampradayas are under the umbrella of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Acyintya Bheda-Abheda is Tattva. What is the meaning of the Acyintya Bheda-Abheda Tattva? Acyintya means we cannot even understand from this material dimension. Bheda means difference. Abheda means no difference. So Jiva and Krishna, because Jivas came from Krishna, it's the quality same. So there is no difference in the quality. He is also bound by love. We are also bound by love. We are also attracted. He is also attracted. So quality is coming from him. But we have, of course, tiny, very, very tiny, very tiny. It's like he is a big fire, big fire. Now, of course, Canada is actually going to be a big fire. Think about that. All fire, big fire. And from that, one small fragment comes out, which is the jiva. Of course, there are so many fragments. So take one, that is the one jiva. And what kind of power it is, quantity-wise. Suppose it really falls on our shirt. What happens? It just burns the shirt and then it just dies itself. That's all the power is of that small spark of the big fire. But at the same time, look at the big fire. It will burn our shirt like nothing, just like that, immediate. Like the forest fire going on in Canada. That's it. Okay, so that is how we have to understand. We have all his qualities, but we are very tiny, and he is mountain of mountain. Like the sun, and we are just one photon, one small ray of the sun. That's what we are, Jivatma. Yes? And Acyintya. Acyintya means, and now the thing is, Jivas and God, in one way they are same, and in another way they are not same. That's why. It is very, very, very difficult to understand. Chintya means we can understand. Acyintya means we cannot understand. Acyintya means we cannot understand this Bheda-Abheda, the oneness and the difference between all these, the Jivas and the Lord, and how all the creation, everything actually happening, is all, he's in the Gita also he says that. He is in everything and also he is not in everything. So it's very difficult to understand. So today we covered Dvaita, that is Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, and Vishishtadvaita, Sri Sampradaya, then Suddha-Advaita, Rudra Sampradaya, Svabhavika-Bheda-Abheda, Kumara Sampradaya, and Acyintya Bheda-Abheda, which is not the Vada, which is actually Tattva by Gaudiya Sampradaya. And if you see that, now the thing is actually some way to really explain that is, Advaita is one, like this, everything is one, just one. And then Dvaita, who is by Madhvacharya, said, no, they are two. That's why if you see Madhvacharya's pictures, you will see like this, you will have that. No, they are two, they are different. But then, if you see the Acyintya Bheda-Abheda Tattva, put it together, is it one or two? Is it one or two? Sometimes you can say it's one, and sometimes you can say two. So this is probably a rough way of explaining this difference. Okay? So, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanja kalpataripchecha, kripa sindhupyevacha, paditanam bhavanepyo, Vaishnavepyo, Namo Namaha. And all glories to Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, and Tanda Pranam to Shanta Maharaj for joining us today. It's wonderful.